One of my predecessors, Brother Timothy, used to say that he did a long pilgrimage around the order. The word pilgrimage is a good one. You discover the grace of the Lord at work among your brothers and sisters, among their friends, the Dominican family. During 9 years, you go around the order, you meet brothers, sisters, lay Dominican. You discover the church in so many different countries and different cultures, different languages too. The unity of the order is coming from the only one grace of the Word of God. We like diversity, we like our identities, and it's important. If you go forward, you will discover that it's important because we are one. The main issue of preaching the gospel is preaching communion and preaching the ability of the human being to be in communion. We are able to do that. My memory of the Philippines is so faithful people. It is very, very present, and I feel that beautiful to see how you can be fully involved in the modernity, in all kind of things of this time, and in the same time to be deeply faithful and deeply present to the Lord, deeply confident to Him. The second memory of Philippines is obviously the richness and the vibrancy of this province for my brothers. They are very generous and very committed in preaching, and in so many and different ways. At the beginning of my mandate, we achieved the process to entrust the university to the province of Philippines, and I think it's a very important way to mission. But in the same time, the same brothers are in some other islands very far away from here with forgotten people, or more or less forgotten people. And I like to see my brothers being in that complementarity. I think it's a very beautiful testimony of preaching the gospel. I can go back to the university mission because we are here. I do believe that today the mission at the university is a priority for evangelization. It is important to trust the capacity of human beings to think, not just to have opinions, but to think together. And looking around the world, I think there is a risk today not to trust this capacity of human being, each human being, to think by himself, by herself. After 9 years, I see that probably it would be easier to say that few people can think for all the others. It's not true. Each one has his or her own capacity, and if we don't think together, we will not be able to build, at the human point of view, this communion I spoke before. After the chapter, I will go back to my province, and I think I will need to have a second novitiate and to discover the normal life as a brother. Since this day of my ordination, I've been always in charge of something in the order. Saint Dominic was a priest, and he was coming from a cloister, and he was with his bishop visiting the south of France. The bishop and him, they discovered that it was very important to preach again the gospel, and they began to preach, imitating the way Jesus with his disciples were preaching from one town to another town. And the day he began to do that, so he decided not to go back to his cloister. He decided to stay there. And then he said, Now, I will ask you to call me Brother Dominic, as if to be a brother in this humanity was the beginning of preaching.